Basketball Wives episode 6 review. Before we get started, here is the schedule for the rest of the week. Tomorrow we'll be catching up on the 2 episodes of Love and Hip Hop that are out. Friday we'll be catching up on the 2 episodes of Auntie Podcast that are out. Saturday we'll be reviewing Lotto's album along with Megan's Mamushi video, the Kaylani remix, and Sweetie's My Best. And then Sunday we'll be back to our regular scheduled programming with Baddies and Auntie. So I just had to catch up because I was gone this week. So this episode starts with Brandy and Jackie meeting up. Remember at Cheyenne's event last week, they kind of clashed because Jackie acted like she didn't remember that she was coming to apologize and then ended up not showing up at all. So when they sit down, Jackie was just like how she hoped she could see Brandy's son now that he's good, because remember she said her son had surgery and everything. And Jackie's like, yeah, I just want to give him a hug. And it's like, I would not even want Jackie around my kid, because the fact that she got anything to say out of her mouth about Brooke's dead daughter is insane. The fact that she's saying Brooke is using her dead daughter for a storyline is insane. Like, somebody could talk about their dead child as much as they want if that's how they grieve. So for me personally, I wouldn't have Jackie around my kid if I was on this show after her saying something like that about Brooke's kid and Evelyn's kid now. Brandy told Jackie that Cheyenne was questionable. She really didn't say nothing or defend Cheyenne either, which is why I said I don't really think they friends. And then Jackie said the only reason she didn't come to Brandy cookbook event was because she knew that it was important and special to Brandy and she didn't want to have any drama. So Brandy was like, let me try to get her to sit down with Jen because the other two are going to be harder to happen, talking about Brooke and Evelyn. Because remember, Jackie and Jen were cool, but then when Jackie had her little ponderosa when they first met Cheyenne, she came out of nowhere and brought up how Jen talked about Evelyn's daughter before. So at that point, Jen was like, oh yeah, I'm done with her, because like she's turning on me and I'm the only one who got her back. Jackie gonna say, oh, Jen got my number, she could call me. She ain't calling you. So Brooke is getting a tattoo covered up of her ex-husband's initials, and Jacille and Evelyn are joining her. So Brooke says that her and this new guy are officially in a relationship. And like Evelyn said, it's giving Stella's got her groove back. If she's having fun and she's here for it, so are we. But hopefully she don't get hurt, because it do low-key seem like she's rushing into it, talking about getting married to the guy at the end of this year. So Evelyn tells her about the conversation that she had with Cheyenne, and Brooke is like, I'm not the joke. You know, like Cheyenne talking about she was joking. I'm not a joke, which is true, because it was like, when she was like, oh, Brooke, you never got nothing on credit. Like, if you knew her for 20 years, I feel like you were saying that to try to be funny. And like Brooke said, why didn't she just come up to her and say, girl, I was just joking with you? She came over after and had a little bit of an attitude, which I think is because Jackie is putting the battery in her back. And then also it was confirmed that they were clearly just mutual friends of friends when they went on that girl trip, because she said, Cheyenne don't know me, we're not friends. So I feel like they just had a close mutual friend probably 20 years ago that invited them on the same couple of trips. And they met a few times, but they was never really friends. And Brooke was just like, I really don't even understand why Evelyn met up with Cheyenne after the event, which is what I'm saying. But you know, Evelyn be being messy and she always be trying to bring somebody else into the group, just like she did last season with Brittany Renner. So next scene, we see Brandy and Jen. Brandy's agent got her an audition for a movie. And y'all know Jennifer has her film production company. So I guess that's why Brandy called her over to help her with the audition taping process. So of course, Jen and Brandy get to talking about Jackie. So obviously Jackie is in Jennifer's movie that she has coming up. So Brandy is just trying to convince her to talk to Jackie. And Jen is just like, you know, she doesn't take any accountability, but I'll sleep on it. So Jacille's son and his best friend are in town to visit her for spring break. So she's really excited about that. And Jacille is also still planning for her and Natasha's wedding, which is now 2 weeks away. So she took the boys to the basketball court, and while they were playing, she called Natasha and she was like, you know, I know it's like 2 o'clock in the morning where you at and you're tired, but Prince was playing and I just wanted you to see. And Natasha was just like, oh, okay, like I'm not gonna lie, Natasha sound burnt out. Like she don't want to talk on the phone right now. And Jacille was just like, you know, there's so much going on with the wedding and so little time. Like, she's just getting nervous, I guess. And she feels like Natasha should be there helping her. But it's like, girl, you know what career she got. It's impossible. She's in a contract. They're also not able to have their moms at the wedding because both of their moms are sick right now and can't really fly. So they're just talking about the fact that, you know, both of their whole families aren't going to be there. So that's just another stressor. So Jen is meeting up with her film team again, and they're looking at some stuff from the movie. They're in post-production, and she's still just saying that she wants to get the movie sold before the wedding. Jen lets it be known that she reached out to Jackie so that Jackie could come and look at the scene that they have together. So Jackie is on her way. So Jackie came, saw her scene. Their scene was cute. You know, we didn't see too much, but they both didn't sound bad. You know when somebody could just not act. They both sounded decent. And they were just like, okay, so we're going to go talk like on the side away from everybody else. So they talk a little bit about what happened at Cheyenne's party. And Jen was like, you know, Cheyenne shouldn't have called her out like that in front of the audience because you didn't stand up either, which is what I was saying. Like Jackie wasn't standing up and a few other people from the circle. And then Jackie says to Jen, okay, well, your friend had the nerve to call me a prostitute, talking about Evelyn. And she was like, did you believe it? Jennifer didn't say yes or no. She just was like, I was floored. I was confused. And then in her confessional, she was like, well, yes, I believe what I read. I believe what my eyes saw. Because remember, Evelyn had the police report and everything. So anyway, Jennifer lets Jackie know she's invited to the screening for the movie because she's in it, but also lets her know that she's inviting everybody. And Jennifer pulled a Natalie from Baddies. She said, because I don't want any drama, we're going to have a meeting before the event. You know how Natalie be doing her house meetings before the club? So Jennifer said, I'm having a parlay. It's not a ponderosa, Jackie, because this is my thing. So we're going to have a parlay and get everybody together before my event so that it's no drama. So Jaceel is bringing her son to meet up with this guy to basically figure out his suit for the wedding. And he has a whole lot of questions asking her, do she want 1, 2, or 3 buttons? Do she want it to be a solid or a pattern? And all of this stuff. And she's like, this is getting very overwhelming for me. And once again, she would want her fiance there so that she could be giving some input. So the guy says, I'm going to give y'all some time, and walks away. So she asks her son how he really feels about her and Natasha getting married. He said that he's really happy for her. It's a big and exciting moment. And they just had a nice mother-son conversation about how, she never wanted to get married before she met Tasha because she never wanted to share nothing with nobody. Everything she worked for is for her and her son. But when she met Tasha, it was different because she had her own everything and Tasha had her own everything. And also Tasha came into the situation willing to treat her son like her own. So next scene, we see Evelyn and Jen working out, and Brandy. So Jen tells Evelyn and Brandy about Christian having to pay $250,000 in restitution, and basically says that their wedding is also going to be around $250,000. And Brandy was like, so are you going to help him or no? And Jennifer was like, well, I can contribute a little bit, but... And basically was saying, as long as he pays the restitution, he will be getting off of probation in August. And they don't want an issue to come up when the wedding happens in September where they could say, oh, you can't go to Paris. And I'm glad Evelyn checked herself because she was like, oh, the investigator in me wants to dig. But I'm like, let me leave this alone. Yes, don't mess up you and Jennifer friendship because y'all just got back on a good page, even though before Jennifer was the one who messed it up. Jennifer also invites them to her parlay and lets them know that they need to be there. Because in order for her to contribute to Christian's restitution, she really wants to get the movie sold, and hopefully it's a big paycheck, which is why she's saying it can't be any drama at this event because it's seriously a business thing for her that could kind of make or break, some important things in her life. Then Brandy starts talking about her son still sleeping in bed with her and Jason. And they were like, girl, you're really a micromanager. She said her son is 12 years old, and anytime her and Jason do anything as far as adult time is when he's at school. I'm never going to condone a man cheating, but I'm starting to understand what happened with this 341 women that he cheated on you with if this has been going on the whole time. She also tells them that her son is getting older now and he's on YouTube and stuff, and he has seen the clips of, Jason talking about cheating on Brandy so many times and everything else. And Brandy's breaking down and she's just like, people attack me about my marriage, but I would never leave that man because he never left me in my darkest place. I had ovarian cancer. If you are a longtime watcher of the show, you already know all of this, which is why I said I feel like she's still with him due to a trauma bond. She feels like no matter what he does to her, it's like she can't leave him because he was there for her at some of these crazy times that a lot of people don't experience, like cancer, going through IVF, and things like that. But I just feel like that's somebody that could be your friend because it seemed like he's a good friend to you, but he's definitely not a good husband. And he seems like he's a good father, but again, not a good husband. Like down to when Brandy had to shave her head when she had cancer, Jason immediately shaved his head with her. Now, Evelyn really doesn't know Brandy and vice versa. So she said that, Brandy opening up makes her see her in a different light. So she hopes that they could put everything that they had at the beginning of the season to the side and just start over and become better friends and get to know each other. Okay, so now we see Brooke meeting up with Evelyn and they're just having a one-on-one chat. So Evelyn tells Brooke that she went to Pilates with Jen and Brandy, and of course Brooke is happy because she wants Brandy and Evelyn to get along. She's close with the both of them. Evelyn did also basically say that she felt bad about what she had said about Brandy and Jason because Brandy opened up about her marriage, and then she asked Brooke how does she feel about this whole parlay that Jennifer wants to have and her having to be around Jackie if she's going to come. And Brooke was basically like, I don't know if I'm mentally able to be around her right now. I don't know where that could take me. I haven't been around her and I've been in such a happy bubble. I don't really want to disturb it. So next scene, we see Jennifer walking into the event, her parlay. So Evelyn and Brandy get there first. So Jaceel arrives and Jennifer has assigned seats, I guess to, avoid drama as much as possible. And she's just telling those three, I don't know if Brooke is going to come. I invited her, not sure if she's going to show up though. So Jackie shows up with Cheyenne, who wasn't invited. Cheyenne looks a mess. Like that top she had on, don't do that no more. And Evelyn was like, I'm surprised that Cheyenne is here and that she seems to be Jackie's backup because she's always talking shit. And Jennifer basically tells Cheyenne it would be best if you could just keep it cute and mute because I didn't invite you here. And I know you have issues going on because the last time we saw her, we were in the middle of Crenshaw about to have a fight with all her friends at the party. So we're going to table all of that and focus on Jackie and the issues with the ladies who are actually in the circle. So Jackie tells Jen, oh, I'm still going to call this a Ponderosa. And Jennifer was like, no, because it's not yours, it's mine. So it's a parlay. And your Ponderosas have never been successful anyway. And Jackie was like, yeah, well, it doesn't look like your parlay is going to be successful either. It's looking cold and dry. Jackie says she don't got a problem with nobody. They got the problems with her, so let them speak up. So Evelyn was like, okay, well, I'm only here for one purpose, which is to figure out how we got to where we are today. And she was like, let's start with the blowout we had in New York where you talked about my child. So Jackie basically was like, oh, you want to talk about what I said about Shanice after everything you did with my daughter? Which, if y'all remember back then, Evelyn had got like Jackie's daughter's book. And she was basically saying how, she's not treated as good as the other daughter and things like that. And Evelyn was meeting up with her and trying to get like copies of the book and share it with the girls and stuff to make Jackie look like a bad mom. And Jackie was like, yeah, because we could keep going over the same tired stuff. And Evelyn was like, I'm not bringing it up just to bring it up. We had got over it, and that was a hard pill for me to swallow, that you had talked about my kid, and we've been friends after that for a while, and you come out of nowhere talking about you want to slap me, and I never did anything to you. That's what I'm trying to understand. So Jackie says, I'm not going back and forth with you. When you're ready for a resolve, let me know. Her and Cheyenne get up and walk out, and on their way out, Evelyn calls Jackie a ex-worker. And just as Jackie leaves, Brooke walks in. So they miss each other, and I honestly feel like that was too perfect. One of them knew that the other was coming or was already there and made sure that they wasn't going to see each other. Probably Jackie, because we already heard that phone call of her at the beginning of the season saying that she wasn't filming with Brooke anymore and she wasn't giving Brooke any more time, like, on camera. So they like, you missed everything, Brooke. And Brooke is like, oh, well, I got some new information to put on the table for everybody. For the last 72 hours, I've been on mute on three-way with her and her business partner, Sunday. Now, if y'all remember Sunday, she was on Basketball Wife some years ago, and she called Drea's son Pansy or something like that. And Drea kind of whooped Sunday's ass. But Sunday was a shit talker. So I'm not going to lie. I'm kind of excited for Sunday to come back because she would spice up the show. She's a little ratchet. And pretty much Sunday and Jackie had fallen out off the show because they were starting a production company together. And Sunday basically said after 6 months of no progress being made, and I guess her probably investing time, energy, and money into it, that Jackie was a fake business owner and that there was really going to be no production company. So Brooke is like, Jackie's been talking shit about all of y'all. Jacille, she said she's tired of hearing your voice. Jennifer, she said no one's interested in you and Christian. And that she sent Jennifer's nudes. If y'all remember, Jennifer had some nudes leak years ago. So I guess she's talking about that. She said she absolutely hates Evelyn and Shawnee, used the word hate verbatim, and said that she says she doesn't understand why Brandy's here unless she's going to have a baby, which is crazy because I just explained to y'all Brandy's situation earlier about how she had to use IVF to have her child. And also said unless Brandy's going to divorce Jason because he's cheated on her with over 350 women and we're tired of hearing about it. So Brandy was really hurt by the whole child comment, and she was just like, I don't understand why she would say that, and it just hurts me. And she kind of was crying and breaking down. She also said that she had some screenshots of text between Sunday and Jackie, where Jackie said, or took a screenshot of somebody on social media saying in caps, Brooke having a dead daughter has made her really evil. So the episode ends there, and in the preview for next week, we see that Shawnee is finally going to be making an appearance on this season on episode 7. And Shawnee and Brandy are going to be sitting down with Jackie, just telling her that they'll never trust her again. And she's like, well, I am the group, so... And Brooke and Jackie will also finally come face to face, and Brooke will have the screenshots from Sunday, and she tells Jackie that she will beat her ass while she's eating this taco. And I believe that Brooke won that fight that they had years ago, so I don't think Jackie wants that smoke again. See y'all next week for episode 7. Bye.